Have you ever been halfway through a sentence when the word you needed suddenly disappeared? Not a complicated word. A normal word you've used hundreds of times. You know what you mean. You can picture it. You may even remember the first letter, but the word just won't come. Then, hours later, while you're folding laundry or getting ready for bed, it pops back into your mind as if nothing happened. Maybe you've also walked into a room and forgotten why you went there, missed an appointment you normally would never forget, read the same paragraph 3 times without absorbing it, or lost your train of thought in the middle of an important conversation. These moments may look small to everyone else, but when they keep happening, the fear can become much bigger. You start asking yourself, is menopause changing my brain? Am I losing my memory? Is this normal brain fog, or is something more serious going on? Here's the reassuring part. Many women notice changes in memory, concentration, word recall, mental speed, and focus during perimenopause and menopause. That doesn't mean your intelligence is disappearing, and it doesn't automatically mean dementia. But the symptoms are real, and they deserve a better explanation than "you're just getting older." Hormonal changes may be part of the picture, but they're rarely the only part. Broken sleep, hot flashes, night sweats, stress, mood changes, medications, alcohol, nutrition, thyroid problems, and the mental load of midlife can all play a role. When several of those pressures stack up, your brain may feel slower, foggier, and easier to exhaust. So let's go through 7 signs many women describe during menopause, what may be making them worse, and when the pattern deserves a closer look. Sign 1. Forgetting names, appointments, or where you put everyday things. A familiar name disappears. A meeting slips your mind. You put your phone somewhere safe, then spend 20 minutes looking for it. You start setting reminders for things you used to remember automatically. At first, you laugh it off. Then it becomes frustrating, and you may begin to trust yourself less. But here's something most people don't realize. Memory starts with attention. Your brain has to register information before it can store it. If you're exhausted, distracted, anxious, rushing, overheated from a hot flash, or thinking about 5 things at once, the information may never get stored clearly in the first place. Later, when you try to remember it, it feels like your memory failed. But sometimes the problem happened earlier, during the moment you were trying to pay attention. A simple habit can help. When something matters, pause for 2 seconds and say it out loud. My keys are on the kitchen counter. My appointment is Thursday at 10. I put the document in the blue folder. That small pause gives your brain a better chance to register the information instead of letting it disappear into the background. Sign 2. Struggling to find the right word. This is one of the experiences many women describe as menopause-related brain fog. You know the word. You know exactly what it means. But it feels stuck. It can happen during a meeting, while telling a story, or in a simple conversation at home. Because language is tied to confidence, one missing word can feel much more serious than it is. Some women start talking less or worry someone at work will notice. But a temporary delay in retrieving a word isn't the same as losing the word completely. Sometimes the information is still there. Your brain is just reaching it more slowly. You may remember it a few minutes later, or it may return when you stop forcing it. When this happens, pause, use another word, and keep going. The more pressure you put on yourself, the harder the word may be to retrieve in that moment. Sign 3. Losing your train of thought. You begin explaining something. Another thought enters your mind. Someone interrupts. A notification appears. And suddenly, the original point is gone. You pause and ask, "What was I saying?" This can feel especially upsetting at work or during an important conversation. Think of working memory as a small mental scratch pad. It holds information just long enough for you to finish a sentence, follow instructions, compare choices, or complete a task. But that scratch pad has limited space. Poor sleep, stress, anxiety, hot flashes, and constant interruptions can fill it quickly. Then one extra demand is enough to knock the original thought out. The better approach isn't to push harder, it's to reduce the competition. Finish one thought before opening another task. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Keep a short note beside you while you're working. When an unrelated thought appears, write down 1 or 2 words, then return to what you were doing. You're not becoming less capable. You may simply need to protect your attention more deliberately than before. If forgetting appointments, losing words, or dropping your train of thought has started affecting your confidence, there's a practical menopause brain fog guide in the first link below. It includes a simple symptom tracker, questions to bring to an appointment, and daily habits that may help reduce mental overload. You'll also find it in the pinned comment. Sign 4. Reading or listening without absorbing the information. You reach the bottom of a page and realize you have no idea what you just read. You replay part of a conversation in your mind because the meaning never fully registered. A television show becomes harder to follow. A task that used to take 20 minutes now takes twice as long. That doesn't always mean your ability to understand has disappeared. It may mean your attention is being interrupted more easily. Think about what happens after a night of broken sleep. Part of your brain is trying to focus while another part is fighting fatigue, anticipating the next hot flash, or worrying about everything that still needs to get done. There may not be enough mental space left for deep concentration. When you need to read something important, make the environment easier on your brain. Put the phone out of reach. Close extra tabs. Read one section at a time. Then pause and explain the main point in your own words before moving on. And when someone gives you important information, repeat it back. So the appointment is Tuesday at 3, and I need to bring the test results. That isn't weakness. It's a practical way to make sure the information was actually registered. Sign 5. Planning, organizing, and multitasking feel harder. You open your email, remember a bill, walk into another room, answer a message, and then forget what you were originally trying to do. By the end of the day, you've started several things and finished almost none of them. For a woman who has always been organized, dependable, and good under pressure, this can feel like a loss of identity. You may wonder whether you're becoming less capable or whether everyone else can see that you're struggling. But multitasking isn't one smooth brain function. Your brain is rapidly switching between tasks. Every switch uses attention. And when sleep, stress, mood changes, and hormonal symptoms are already taking up mental energy, that switching becomes more expensive. That's why a day filled with small interruptions can leave you exhausted, even when none of the tasks seem difficult on their own. Try working in short blocks. Choose one task. Set a timer for 20 or 30 minutes. Close everything that doesn't belong to that task. When the timer ends, take a short break and decide what comes next. Keep the daily list realistic. 3 important tasks are better than 15 that make you feel behind before the day even begins. Sign 6. Feeling mentally slow, foggy, or disconnected from your usual sharpness. You're not suddenly confused about who you are or where you are. You simply feel slower. A decision that once took seconds now takes several minutes. A simple question feels harder than it should. You may describe it as a mist, a delay, or the feeling that your thoughts are moving through something heavy. Because the feeling is hard to explain, many women keep it private. They worry they'll sound dramatic or that someone will question their ability. Some tell themselves they're imagining it. But the experience is real, even when it's difficult to measure. The cause may not be one single thing. It may be the combined effect of hormonal change, poor sleep, stress, mood symptoms, medication side effects, irregular meals, dehydration, or another health issue. That's why context matters more than one isolated moment. Does the fog get worse after a poor night of sleep? Does it improve after movement? Is it stronger during stressful days? Did it begin after a medication change? Does it seem connected to hot flashes or night sweats? Those patterns can point toward a more useful next step. Sign 7. Deep mental exhaustion, especially after a bad night. This is more than feeling sleepy. Your body may still be moving through the day, but your mind feels finished. Words become harder to find. Patience disappears. Small choices feel heavy. You stare at a simple task and can't figure out where to begin. And when sleep has been interrupted by hot flashes, night sweats, anxiety, insomnia, snoring, or repeated waking, that exhaustion may be present before the day even starts. Sleep isn't separate from memory and concentration. It supports learning, attention, mood, decision-making, and mental recovery. When sleep is broken night after night, your brain has fewer resources available the next day. That can make every other sign on this list feel worse. Many women respond by adding more caffeine, pushing through the fatigue, and staying up later, then sleeping even worse the next night. A better first step is to look at what's interrupting sleep. Is the room too warm? Are night sweats waking you? Are you drinking caffeine late in the day? Is alcohol leaving you restless later? Are you snoring loudly or waking up gasping? You don't have to solve every sleep problem alone. Persistent insomnia, loud snoring, gasping, severe night sweats, or anxiety that repeatedly interrupts sleep deserves proper attention. Now here's the part that matters most. Gradual brain fog during menopause isn't the same as a sudden neurological change. If confusion appears suddenly, if speech becomes slurred, if one side of the face droops, if one arm or leg becomes weak or numb, if balance suddenly disappears, or if a severe new headache comes with visual or neurological symptoms, don't wait to see whether it passes. Get emergency help. Those aren't ordinary menopause symptoms. For the more gradual pattern, think of brain fog as a signal to look at the whole system, not as proof that your brain is failing. Start with sleep. Keep the bedroom cooler if heat is waking you. Use lighter bedding if keep a consistent sleep and wake time when possible. Reduce caffeine later in the day, and be honest about alcohol. Talk with a qualified professional when hot flashes, insomnia, anxiety, or snoring are repeatedly disrupting rest. Next, reduce mental overload. Use one calendar instead of several. Keep your keys, glasses, and phone in the same place. Write down tasks, turn off notifications during important work, and finish one task before switching to the next. External tools don't make your brain weaker. They free up mental energy. Movement also matters. Walking, strength training, and other appropriate forms of exercise can support sleep, mood, cardiovascular health, and daily energy. You don't need an extreme routine. A short walk, a simple strength session, or a few minutes of movement can be enough to begin. Consistency matters more than punishment. Nutrition can affect how clear or exhausted you feel too. Skipping meals, extreme dieting, dehydration, and relying on caffeine instead of food can make concentration harder for some women. Aim for regular meals with protein, vegetables, fruit, whole grains, beans, healthy fats, and enough fluids for your individual needs. No single brain food will fix every symptom. The goal is steady nourishment, not another perfect plan. Medication and health changes deserve attention as well. Some medications can cause fatigue, sleepiness, or mental slowing. Thyroid problems, low vitamin B12, depression, anxiety, sleep disorders, and other health concerns may also affect memory and concentration. Don't stop a prescription on your own. Instead, write down when the symptoms started, what medications or supplements changed, how you're sleeping, and whether the fog is getting worse. Then bring that information to someone qualified to review the full picture. Hormone therapy may help certain menopause symptoms for some women after an individualized discussion of benefits and risks, but it shouldn't be presented as a guaranteed treatment for brain fog or used only for the purpose of improving cognition. The right decision depends on your symptoms, health history, age, timing, and personal risk factors. If the symptoms are persistent, clearly getting worse, or interfering with work, finances, driving, cooking, medication use, or personal safety, get evaluated. If family members or coworkers notice a clear change too, take that information seriously without assuming the worst. The Menopause Brain Fog Guide in the first link below brings these steps together in one place. It can help you track sleep, hot flashes, mood, medications, word-finding problems, concentration, and the situations where the fog feels strongest. You'll also find it in the pinned comment. There's an emotional side to this that deserves attention. A forgotten word can make you question your intelligence. A missed appointment can make you doubt your reliability. Difficulty multitasking can make you wonder whether you're losing professional ability. And when brain fog keeps interrupting conversations, you may slowly become quieter. You may stop volunteering ideas, avoid social situations, or apologize before you even speak. But a slow word isn't the same as a lost mind. A reminder isn't proof that you're incapable. Mental fatigue doesn't erase your experience, judgment, creativity, or skill. Your brain may simply be working under different conditions. So for the next 7 days, don't try to monitor every thought. Track the pattern instead. When does the fog feel strongest? How did you sleep the night before? Were hot flashes worse? Were you anxious or overloaded? Had you eaten? Were you dehydrated? Did the symptoms begin after a medication change? Did movement help? Did rest help? Write down only the details that repeat, then choose one change. Protect your sleep, reduce one source of interruption, use one calendar, take a short walk, eat a real meal before reaching for more caffeine, schedule the appointment you've been postponing. Small, repeatable changes are more useful than trying to change everything in one day. The next time a word disappears, pause before fear takes over. Notice whether you're exhausted, distracted, anxious, overheated, or trying to manage too much at once. Then ask whether the problem is gradual and connected to a pattern, or whether something changed suddenly. Use the answer as information. Brain fog can feel frightening because it makes your own mind seem unfamiliar. But fog isn't the same as disappearance. It means clarity is harder to reach in that moment. And when you improve the conditions around your brain, track the pattern, and get proper evaluation when needed, the path often becomes easier to see. If this video helped you understand 7 cognitive signs women may notice during menopause, subscribe to the channel. Every week, we share clear, practical guidance about menopause, sleep, mood, memory, healthy aging, and the habits that can help you feel more like yourself again. Feeling foggy doesn't mean you're becoming less intelligent. It may mean your brain needs a different kind of support. And paying attention to that message is a strong first step toward greater clarity and confidence.